One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
I want to get into the unique ways you caught someone cheating because check this out. Last month, a woman went online to ask people for cleaning tips. She noticed everything in her house was being green and she couldn't figure out what was causing it. The green coloring was showing up on couch cushions, bed sheets, carpets, her own socks, the phone charger, even her cat. The green coloring was showing up all over the place. She posted pictures where you could clearly see a green hue showing up on everything. She tested for mold, and that wasn't it. And she tested to see if it was a detergent. That wasn't it. There were a lot of theories. But one person suggested it could be brand new jeans from Old Navy because they stain everything. Does that ring a bell? Old Navy jeans stain everything is what they say. The woman said that she and her husband aren't jeans people. They don't wear jeans. And someone said, imagine this is how you discover he's having an affair with some Old Navy wearing woman from the cat turning green. And apparently that is what was happening.
No way, it's terrible.
The woman posted an update later saying she didn't take the comments seriously at first, but her husband had been acting strangely, so she started looking at bank statements for Old Navy purchases. And then she looked through his phone. She found evidence of an affair. And yes, the other woman was wearing jeans
in her
all
home.
her photos.
Oh, that's crazy
gosh.
because, I mean, I have gotten new jeans and you rub your hands and your hands turn colors or whatever because you haven't washed the dye out yet. So that makes sense.
Right.
But, like, that's pretty crazy.
That means they're tearing it up all over that house.
Yeah. The cat? The poor cat.
I know.
Poor cat.
No, 877-937-1047. Want to get into like a crazy or different, unique way you caught somebody. You going to patch Jose through? Okay. Jose, good morning. What happened? What's your story?
Hey, what's going on, bud? Everybody, my name is Jose. I want to share a little quick story with you guys. So basically, years ago, my ex-wife, I called her on my lunch break, and she had tried to forward my call, or meant to forward my call, but she actually answered it. And I was able to hear her on her lunch date with her side guy, everything that they were, been doing, gonna do, how much they like being with each other and everything. So, yeah, needless to say, she's my ex now.
Boy, that would suck to hear. Like, you heard them getting graphic? Like, man, tonight when I get
Yeah, they were just talking about, like, exactly, what they've been sending it to each other, how much they like doing certain things. So, yeah, it's been...
Don't you think that was the universe looking out for you because you got all the evidence, all the bust you needed by a mistake?
That's what I was saying. It was just one of those things. I couldn't believe. Like, once I thought she was going to forward the call, because whatever, and it actually answered, and I'm like, hello, and I could just hear, everything vividly. I'm like, what in the world? But, yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for sharing that story. All right, 877-937-1047. The unique way you caught someone cheating. Sabrina, what happened to you?
So, good morning.
Good morning.
I would say back in 2010, now ex-boyfriend, he was changing up his routine. I know it sounds weird, but I feel like men are just very routine. And his shower went to like 15 minutes. I guess I'm impatient, but instead of 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then little things like that I started to notice. Also, his brother, when I knocked at the front door, his brother just kind of gave me a weird look. And then I kind of accused him of it. Turns out I was right. But then he also told me I was cheating on him, which was untrue. But yeah, little things like that I started to notice.
Oh, yeah, but those aren't that unusual.
The
Outside of the shower, was it a longer shower or a shorter shower?
No, it was a longer shower by 5 minutes.
Oh.
But if you actually notice that your man's taking 5 minutes longer in the shower, that's a little crazy.
She's like,
is it because he's in there with? Was he in there with somebody?
That's amazing.
Like
Don't get me
FBI
wrong.
status.
washing,
But that's pretty
washing
crazy
off
that
the
you
girl.
did that. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't in there.
I'm telling you, like, I noticed the smallest things, and then I was proven right. 2 weeks later, it was my 21st birthday. And then August came, and I met this guy. I get this random call at like 3 a.m. I let it go to voicemail. This girl went off on me, calling me a home wrecker. My ex invites me over to his apartment that he moved into in June, the month that we broke up.
Yeah.
And December of 2010, it was his girlfriend. So he was dating both of us at the same time.
Lame.
You poor thing.
Kelly, what is an unusual way you caught somebody cheating?
Well, it was my ex-husband. It was 2007. I'm kind of dating myself a little bit, but I just left his MySpace open. And I also found some condoms under the sink, and I was pregnant with our son at the time, so that was kind of crazy. And he had, on his MySpace, he had said to her, "What if I show up naked?" So that was kind of a red flag there. And then she left her shorts in my daughter's room. And I was like, are these like her daughter's shorts or what is going on here? But they were so short that I thought they were her daughter's shorts, but they were hers. It was crazy.
So they did it in your daughter's bedroom?
I don't know, but that's where I found her shorts, so that was a little scary. And then I found her underwear in my car, and she's like, "Oh, I was just doing laundry there." I was like, "Yeah, just underwear under the seat."
I was doing laundry there. It's a terrible lie.
So we want to know about the unusual way you caught somebody. And I think your story, if you said he left his MySpace open in 2025, then I'd be like, that is so unusual.
Yeah, that is true.
So unusual.
Well, I was pregnant with my son, and he's 17 now, so yeah, it's been a little bit. But
Well, thank you so much for listening, Kelly. Thanks for sharing that story with us.
thank you.
877-937-1047. I want to get into how you caught them cheating, but a very unique way you caught them cheating. We'll talk to you next. It's John, Jane, Richard. Hey, Ashley, so you caught someone cheating in a unique or different way. Am I right?
Yes. I caught my ex-husband cheating on an app. My parents might know this. It's called Parent Square. And it is an app so that you can communicate with your child's teachers.
Oh, yeah. I use that for my kids' school. It's how you check on their grades and stuff.
Exactly.
But how do you get busted on that?
Well, I was on the app, and our daughter was in kindergarten at the time, and I happened to look at the chat between him and her kindergarten teacher, and it was explicit. It was extremely explicit.
No.
With the teacher?
So was it just like digital cheating, or like did they like get intimate? Do you know?
There was plans to meet up that I found. It looked like they'd been talking on Parent Square for a while, since the beginning of the year almost.
So did you see any signs, like when you go to the parent-teacher conference, like do you see like your husband making eyes at the teacher?
I guess I was just blinded. I didn't see it coming at all. They put on a really good performance because I had no idea.
That's wild.
It is wild, but you also got to look at it through a different lens. I mean, out of all the dads that she meets, she chose your husband to be with.
No.
That's not like a Medal of Honor. That's not like
But as a dad, I mean, to get a kindergarten teacher, that sounds kind of hot. That's sexy.
No,
It's
John
sexy.
Jay.
You're
It is.
not.
Why can't you be happy for
Why
him?
can't you be happy for him?
No.
You know, I tell you what, very similar to that. I know a guy that got busted cheating because of the computer, iPad texting, how it's all in the same device.
Cloud.
I bet you that happens a lot. Oh, that's the cloud? That's the cloud?
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Also, Parent Square needs to protect their app a little better, don't you think?
I know.
Have better security
Maybe people
guidelines.
just need to stop being shady on Parent Square.
You're a login.
Wait, Ashley, you said it's your ex-husband, so you left him, but is he with the kindergarten teacher?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't check up on them at all. In fact, I switched our daughter's school.
Yeah, I
As
think
you
that is
should,
smart
yeah.
choice for sure. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's terrible.
I'm glad you got
know
out
what
of
you
it,
want to
though.
do then, I guess, is go when you're going to schools, look at how good looking the teachers are. You want your kids in ugly teachers' classes. It was like my friend, another guy I know, he dumped his wife for the babysitter. And the babysitter, smoking hot. Like, why are you hiring a smoking hot babysitter?
That was like,
you know what I mean?
well, yeah, that was like Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale.
Yes.
Their babysitter was like a younger almost better looking version than her.
That seems
Right.
impossible.
Carbon copy about her younger version.
Right.
Did you
He
guys,
left for he was messing around with her.
did you guys see that movie with Megan Fox and she was like an AI robot?
I just heard about. My son told me that the other day.
I watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I forget what
And
it's
she
called.
falls in love with the dad or something like that.
She's crazy. She's
Right.
Megan Fox is crazy and basically gets the dad. The wife is in the hospital. She has like cancer or something terrible. They have young kids and basically he needs help. So he hires and goes and picks out this AI robot. And the AI robot is freaking baddie Megan Fox. And it's like, duh, we know where this is going.
Yeah.
He ends up hooking up with the robot. The wife finds out. Then the robot goes crazy. Anyway. It's good.
Why would the
okay
wife get mad if he hooked up with the robot? It's not real.
because it's a, and that was his
It's
take.
a Megan Fox robot.
That
That's
was
why.
his take.
I would have to be like, okay, you can, but you make sure she takes off all her skin and she's just metal. Make sure she
Why
doesn't.
you get mad if you hook up with anyone or anything?
Anything, but it doesn't matter if it has a heartbeat or not.
Yeah.
Ashley, thanks for sharing that story with us.
Thank you.
The unique way you caught them cheating. Kathleen, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hi. I was about 18 years old, dating a guy for a while, knew where he worked. He worked in a restaurant, and one day my friend and I decided that we wanted to go over and see how he was doing, and we sit at the table. Waitress comes up. I ask where he's at. She goes, he's at the hospital. I'm like, oh, my God, why? Oh, his wife is having a baby. What?
I don't know if that was her reaction.
It turned out that the waitress was the wife's best friend.
Oh, my God.
It did not end well for him at all. Needless to say, I had nothing to do with him. I believe after the wife had the baby, I would hope she had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it turned out on that side.
Oh, well, thanks for sharing that story, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Felicia, you got a unique cheating story?
Yeah, I found out that my then husband was cheating on me with the neighbor who's now dating my youngest brother-in-law.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
How'd
That's
that
like
all start up?
Yeah, so she was the neighbor, and I just had my suspicion something was going on, and she was living with her baby daddy, and they started having issues. So he moved out across the street, and one day I hit my boiling point, so I went over to him. I'm like, hey, tell me what's going on. He's like, well, your husband picked her up from the bar, and they made out. So on my way back home, I banged on her front window, and I'm like, I know what you did. And she thought that I was going to, try to beat her up or something. So by now, she's dating my youngest brother-in-law. She called him over for protection, and he's like, well, what did you do to upset her? Why do you think she wants to beat you up? So she had to confess to my youngest brother-in-law that she'd been sleeping with his older brother, who was my husband at the time.
Oh, my goodness.
So my youngest brother-in-law is the one who actually told me. He's like, yeah, they've been sleeping together. This whole time, I thought they just made out one drunk night after the bar, but they'd been having an affair.
Unbelievable.
That's insane.
So messy.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Crazy.
Thank you, guys.
877-937-1047. Here's a text. I caught my ex-husband cheating when he tried to pick up an undercover cop posing as a prostitute.
Oh my gosh.
Dang. Becca, you got a unique cheating story?
Yes. So this actually happened with my kid's father. One day he was at work and he asked me to bring him this box from the house. So I was like, sure, but I was nosy on my way over there and I opened the box and it was a box full of condoms while he was at work. So I dropped it off because, whatever, I guess if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. So when he got home, I went through his phone and he was hooking up with his boss.
Wow.
The fact that he had
Why would he do that?
What in the world?
the nads to call his wife and say, bring me this box of condoms. What the heck?
I think he wanted you to know.
I would
didn't
think.
really know it was there.
All right. Man, that's crazy.
Hello, iHeart listener. We have a confession to make. Both iHeart and this commercial you're listening to right now would probably sound a heck of a lot better on the new Roku Pro Series TV. It's got side-firing speakers that fill your room with sound, Dolby Atmos audio that puts you right in the middle of the entertainment, and the ability to pair seamlessly with your home theater sound systems that already have surround sound and booming bass. If all that sounds too good to be true, it'll sound even better on the new Roku Pro Series. Your hearing isn't better, your TV is.
There's an efficient way to get caught up on a lot of news. It's called The Seven from The Washington Post. It's a newsletter and podcast. Whether you're reading or hit play, you get 7 stories you need to know, and you can consume it all in just a few minutes. The Seven is out every weekday morning by 7 a.m. Eastern. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'm one of the writers, and I host the show. Find The Seven podcast wherever you're listening. The newsletter link is waiting for you in the show notes.
Deciding on what to listen to is hard. Using Zumo to stream music from iHeart 90s Radio is easy. Or play iHeart Country or Hip Hop Beats. Your choice, all for free. Stream easy with Zumo Play. Get live and on-demand entertainment with no logins, no signups, no accounts, no hassle. This April, binge these classics. The Whole 9 Yards starring Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry. Adaptation with Nicolas Cage and Meryl Streep. And The Fisher King with Robin Williams. All streaming free on Zumo Play. Go to play.zumo.com now. Life is hard. Zumo is easy.
Is okay. Thank you, Becca.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.